Hi everybody and welcome to another edition of the Euro Truck Simulator 2 Lorry Lobby. Now it's been a while since I last made one of these. I think it was back in July 19th, and there's a pop-up from my friend. I'll just sort that out now. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just been a bit of a problem here recording. I had a crash there in the game and I had to use an autosave to recover, and if I didn't have that, things would be fucked. And obviously last night I tried to upload my last episode of season 6 of the Le Mans Odyssey, and YouTube for whatever reason took forever to render it, and make sure you watch that first if you haven't seen it yet. But I'm not too confident my chance of a good video if this is going to be long. But anyway, I haven't played this game in about a week and I haven't done much to my truck. The only thing I have done since we last spoke was open a new garage in Paris to accommodate 3 new staff, because this game doesn't allow you to sell your garages if you've opened up your original one, and I of course had to turn off my mod to allow Ireland, and that means I'm technically stuck in the middle of nowhere, whereas in Paris we have the 3 people. So oh god, I was worried about another crash there. Yeah, so my truck, I'd love to mod it, get a new thing going, but I need to make more money at the same time. So yeah, enough with the chit chat. I've gone on long enough, and I think I plan to go to Zurich from here, wasn't it? Near Zurich, yeah, this one should be good. 33,000 euros for this job, 481 miles, so should be plenty of talking time. Yeah, so my original plan was to talk about the upcoming Grand Theft Auto 5 and how I'm looking forward to that, and my sort of playtime with GTA, with the most controversial gaming series of all time. But I also got requests from my #1 subscriber Andy, looking for Football Manager 2014 ideas, and I said yeah, of course I'll do that. So let's begin with GTA 5 then, shall we? Okay. Yeah. So my history of Grand Theft Auto, it's quite an interesting one. Like, it is a bit odd to say my history of a particular game is interesting, but my first memories of a Grand Theft Auto, of course I was underage, of course, yeah, the big controversy, blah blah blah. But yeah, it was my friend from down the road got a copy of GTA 1 on the PS1 and brought it down to my house. My mom obviously didn't know what it was, but when she found out, she was obviously not too happy, and that began a phase of my life where I just looked at games not suitable for my age, and I decided, oh yeah, that's not good, I'm not going to be playing that, only games suitable for my age group are acceptable. And if you remember the old PEGI rating system, it was like 3 plus, 11 or 12 plus, 15 plus and 18 plus. So they obviously changed that in recent years, but you had a huge gap between age 3 and age 11, like it was a massive gap, and I kind of took it literally for a while. But my interest in GTA peaked when GTA Vice City came out. My brother got it as a reward for his confirmation. Oh, sorry, I was actually at the factory, I knew it. Sorry about that, lads. Yeah, so GTA Vice City came out in 2002, and my brother got a hold of it when we went shopping. I'm gonna have to overtake that car awkwardly. Whoops. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so we got a hold of it, and he wasn't very interested in playing the missions. He just wanted to drive around and mess about, that sort of thing. So I was tasked with doing the missions, and so basically I was really scared of the whole violence and swearing aspect. Like, I was still young myself, but eventually I got the hang of it and I was absolutely hooked. I loved the driving and I loved the scenery, and of course the unforgettable soundtrack of the 80s. It definitely changed my life forever, because if I didn't know all those songs, sure, that video I mentioned last time would have been null and, like, completely null and void. I have very little music knowledge in comparison to a lot of people I know, and I'm obviously grateful for GTA for changing that. And then came along, like, as well as GTA, there was Driver. Driver was the only serious enemy for GTA back in the day, and I loved Driver 2 on the PS1. But then Driver 3 came out approximately 6 months before GTA San Andreas, and it was a steaming pile of, you know, of dog poo. I'm afraid it was very poor outside of the car, but inside the car, it was a very good game, and I was impressed with some of the physics and the scenery and that sort of thing. Like, you had plenty of things to do, like when you're driving around. But there was just so much potential the game missed out on, and GTA San Andreas totally destroyed Driver in every aspect. And to this day, it's probably still remains the greatest game of all time, in my opinion. It was just absolutely amazing, the things you could do in that game. Like, the memories I have of it, like getting it for the first time. I just came home from school, my mom said, "Here you go, here's your game." I was like, I couldn't believe it. It had the black casing for the PS2 as opposed to the regular blue. I just thought this must be something special. And of course I was teased by the game. I didn't want to do my homework, so I decided to I'll let my brother have a go. And the first thing he did, I remember very well, he went to the countryside and he stole a tractor off one of the hillbillies and just went around the place, but it was a pretty crappy tractor. And eventually got bored and I had my turn and I did the missions. And it was a very good campaign, of course, very gripping and end-to-end stuff. Like, it wasn't just CJ being the all-dominant character, but he had his setbacks, and he made the lives of other people much better for those who deserved it, of course. He wasn't the asshole like Tommy Vercetti in Vice City was. He was genuinely a good guy, just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that really made the game for me. And well, it took me ages I don't remember finishing it in a particularly good time. Like, it took a good while, and I played it all day and that sort of stuff. So when I did finish it, I definitely played lots of it. I actually completed it 100% a few years ago, and it was a long process. Like, the driving license thing and the airplanes and the collectibles, they're all crazy. Like, it took ages, but it was worth it. But I think Vice City was much better for completing 100%. After that, I got my hands on GTA 3 from a friend. He had a copy, but it was really badly worn out copy. So when I got to the penultimate mission, I'd already encountered plenty of freezes, but it eventually got to the penultimate mission where you had to destroy all the coffee stands which sell the spank, and I couldn't actually do it, so I gave up on it. And that was it. It was a good game, and I actually bought it on Steam recently to actually finish it once and for all. So I have played every GTA thus far, but we'll speak about those in great detail in a moment. So San Andreas still remains the peak of GTA. Like, it had a great soundtrack as well. The scenery was outstanding. The variety of vehicles, of course, you could do anything. You had the little lawnmower, you had the different types of push bike, you had trains, planes, the NASCAR, you had the what else was there? There was the jetpack. That was amazing. I loved the yellow jetpack. So then that was fine. It kept me going for a good while, and then the Xbox 360 came along. But that was of course during the PSP. I had the PSP for the Liberty City stories and Vice City stories. It was handy to have Liberty City stories because I never beat GTA 3, as I've mentioned, and very good campaign. It was nice to gain Salvatore Leone's respect as opposed to killing him in GTA 3 and that sort of thing, and obviously robbing him in GTA San Andreas. And it was very good achievement for such a small thing back in the day. Like, it was 2005 when that came out, and it was a very impressive feat for Rockstar to put Liberty City on the little PSP. And certainly it wasn't like amazing, like it didn't do anything new. It was just a nice copy of GTA condensed for the handheld, and I beat it very quickly. Like, it didn't take me that long because I could take the handheld wherever I liked. I could just flick the PSP off and stand exactly where I was previously. But that game is now broken. I don't have a copy of it anymore because I had a little casing that covers the UMD or whatever it's called, kind of has a little crack in it, so I won't play Liberty Stories anymore. But Vice City Stories was perhaps the superior game, but it was rushed, so it was full of glitches, and it was a great campaign as well. Like, it was hilarious to see Lance Vance as a little glasses wearing nerd, that sort of thing, and Martinez was a proper dickhead. Like, he really was a real prick, and it was satisfying that you could get revenge on him. So that was a good game. Like, I liked the jet ski aspect. I liked the new weapons, and I liked the fact that if you beat the game 100%, you could watch all the cutscenes again, something that hasn't been repeated. And the 99 Luftballons, as referenced by the song, you could actually tell the game where you found your last one. So if you were actually collecting them, you could look at your map and find which ones you've already popped and that sort of thing. So that would have been a really useful feature for what was to come next, and it was indeed Grand Theft Auto 4 on the Xbox 360. A magnificent game from the outset, but it wore out so quickly. That was the primary issue with GTA 4. It was so boring once you finished it, but it was a marvelous story, and I was truly gripped at the like the developments of Nico and all that. Like, I'm still not happy they haven't left America, you know. I really want to try doing another country with GTA, but for the time being, I'll settle. But it was great to have a a completely un-American character like Nico from Serbia, part of the Bosnian War, of course. So he's, you know, a very dark character, of course. He's never truly happy, but he had amazing depth. Like, he was such a strong character, and Roman, his cousin, was probably the best sidekick of all of GTA. And I'm just, oh sugar, I need to change there, change lane. Yeah, so those two were really compelling characters together, and if you chose the ending that you dealt with the enemy Dmitri, you were a proper numpty. Like, very bad ending if you'd worked with him, whereas it was a bad ending anyway for the revenge storyline. So it was great that you could actually choose what outcome you could get. Like, the first one I picked was Playboy X and Dwayne. I chose to kill Playboy X, and it was definitely the right decision, because Dwayne was he was very much in the Nico mold. He was an unhappy guy after years of you know, success and that sort of thing, and then he came out into the real world and was an unhappy man. And when you gave him the friendship that he needed, he turned into a very loyal and dependable person. So that was great. And obviously the McCrearys, I really love the McCrearys, even if they were stereotypically depicted as, you know, the fighting and Catholic Irish and that sort of thing. It wasn't perfect, but it was great to have proper Irish characters in the game for once. And it was actually really handy just to see them in their perspective. It was grand, that their storyline was very interesting as well. But of course, when the game finished, you know, it definitely didn't, you know, last very long. Like, it was great to have the car physics, but there were no planes because it was in New York, and it would have been too controversial if they let you recreate 9/11 on that sort of thing. And the pigeons were an absolute nightmare to kill for the 200 collectibles thingy, and the weapons, the selection of weapons was poor, because it was meant to be more realistic. And what else was there? The internet was hilarious. I'll give them that. That was hilarious, and so was the television. But it was hard to access the moment of the TV that you wanted. And I suppose what else? Like, some of the graphics, like the graphics were very good in many aspects, but sometimes it was just a bit lazy. And it was annoying when you got the friends calling when you're on a mission or something, and you had to say like, no. But the getting drunk, I'll give him credit, the getting drunk was hilarious. That was so good. But just a shame that GTA 4 was not the product that it could have been. But now that we're into the you know, we're into the DLC. I'll talk about DLC actually. The Lost and Damned, that was very good. I bought it like straight away. It was very good, but it didn't have any like proper improvements to the game. It just allowed you to play another character story, and it was great that they had written him in to be a kind of, you know, ally to Nico. Like, he didn't know Nico at all, but he got on with him, and then he did certain things to Nico unwillingly that affected Nico. Like, he was the kidnapper to Roman, for example. Like, that was class. But it was the exact same story. Like, apart from riding the bikes and using the new weapons, there was nothing much to Lost and Damned that made it worth keeping. But thank God for the Ballad of Gay Tony. That was very good. It was such an improvement with the likes of the Buzzard and the new cars and the new weapons and the new side missions, because you could manage the club, Maisonette 9 or whatever it was called. Yeah, that was great. Like, I really enjoyed that, and the multiplayer was improved. But in general, GTA 4's multiplayer it left a little bit to desired. Well, that is why we are talking about GTA 5. It has the potential to definitely outmuscle San Andreas off its perch. It looks truly something. Like, all the faults of GTA 4 seem to have been taken into consideration, and the map is meant to be the size of, or 5 times the size of San Andreas, which would be insane. Like, this Euro Truck Simulator map is obviously huge, but it's basically the same thing repeated over and over again. With all due respect, like, it is very much, they need to keep consistent as well as match the details, but it is an amazing map. But GTA 5 has a serious amount of detail, and it could take a long time to explore all that countryside. Like, that is going to be a huge highlight for me, being able to do all that sort of stuff. And we use the 3 characters. Well, it's a bit dodgy. Like, I would have liked one of them to be a woman, just to, you know, change a bit of history and that sort of thing. But the multiplayer aspect looks so much better. Like, to be able to work together and make a crew and that sort of thing, and modify your cars, that looks sensational. And I'll need to pre-order it soon, because the demand will be huge at this stage. I just hope too many people are busy to get their pre-orders in. But I'm just a bit too lazy to do it. But yeah, I'll definitely have to get my pre-order in soon, and I'm really looking forward to how it turns out, because it hasn't been delayed as severely as GTA 4, and certainly the pressure is on for Rockstar to make this a success, because a lot of people were disappointed with GTA 4, which was justified, particularly with the rise of Saints Row. I think Saints Row was a bit of a piss take in terms of its outlook, but fair enough. It took a niche market, and it's benefited well, but I think GTA 5 is going to destroy in Saints Row. If it turns out to match the hype, and hopefully no one will play Call of Duty anymore, because the team deathmatch in GTA 5 looks far superior than anything Call of Duty could ever do, and would be absolutely class if Call of Duty would go on to fail in the next gen conversion. But yeah, it is definitely a relief. GTA 5 is not next gen. It's a good way to say the final hurrahs to the Xbox and PS3. But what do I plan to do with GTA 5? I would love it if it came out PC day 1, because if it did, I would be genuinely torn as to what to do, because I have plenty of friends on Xbox Live who are going to have the game, and if I don't have the multiplayer straight away, it would absolutely suck. But on the long term, the PC version would look so much better, because I have friends who would play multiplayer on this, and we could have a lot more long-term fun, because the internet connection on this would be far superior. You wouldn't get disconnected and that sort of thing in comparison to what you might do on the Xbox. But I cannot believe it's the end of another generation of consoles, to be perfectly honest, as my driver's starting to get tired. Yeah, I genuinely can't believe, like, getting the Xbox fresh out of the box. I can still remember that day, and I obviously lament having to get rid of the PS2. Not literally, of course, I still have it, but just not being able to get any new games for it, like, that's a bit of disappointment. But the advent of online gaming was a massive change for me. Like, I used to only play single player games, such as San Andreas, that'll keep you going for hours and hours and hours. But the games world has changed because of that. aspect. But hopefully GTA 5 will be the genuine hybrid between excellence in single player multiplayer, because there aren't enough games that specialize in both, and I think GTA 5 will be that game, and I'm desperately looking forward to it now. I'm really pumped, but unfortunately it is coming out when bloody college and my final year, it's literally around the corner. But hopefully I can bring along some of my college friends and have an session or session if you want to use the proper word. That would be great crack. Like, I really would, having everyone over and being on the same side, because with the FIFA tournaments someone has to be the loser, whereas hopefully with GTA 5 we can organise good turns, share our goals, and have a good time, because it's not like, thankfully it's not all about the shooting and violence. I can take a break and play the tennis and the golf. Like, that looks like a deadly bit of crack if you could do it online. I think you can, but yeah, I'm just gonna take a nap here for a sec. Like, it looks amazing that you can do all these like confrontational stuff on the online, as opposed to just the team deathmatch and the free roam killing and that sort of thing. So really looking forward to just about everything about GTA 5, and I hope the plane flying is a big improvement, because that would be so cool. So yeah, there we go. I've taken my rest. I'm ready to drive again. It's a nice lovely day here in Germany. Like, I haven't reached Zurich yet, not by any stretch, but I have about 257 miles to go. That's not too bad. And I'll just I suppose the last thing is the controversy about the soundtrack being leaked. That is terrible for GTA. Like, they try to do everything legitimately, and then you have all these minority hackers and exploiters who just cannot wait any longer, and they just leak all these critical pieces of information for the public. Like, that is the flaw of the internet, I'm afraid. People just cannot wait, and it spoils it for the rest of the people. Like, I don't want to know anything about the GTA 5 soundtrack, or indeed any of its story, because to have it spoiled before anybody could legitimately play it would be an absolute shambles. And I'd be, very concerned about the future of, Rockstar making GTA to the same level, because, why would they want to make a game that would be spoiled? So that just, it's again another aspect of the decline of the single player, because stuff like Halo a few years ago was released a few hours too early, and that obviously gave the lucky few head start in that campaign. And it's just a bit worrying that, like, the only thing that you can't spoil is multiplayer, because there's no story in that, and it's just the same old thing again and again. But yeah, definitely GTA 5 is a key purchase this year, as well as Football Manager 2014. Like, for the first time in my gaming life, I'm actually doubting FIFA. Like, it was, like, I played a lot of Ultimate Team this year as opposed to the career mode, and I had a good bit of fun, but it's just, again, spoiled by the people who use the sweaty players and the sweaty tactics to try and win, as opposed to having fun. So I'm still probably going to get it. Like, I really could wish I could take a stand, but definitely for the first time in my life, I will admit Football Manager is the superior football game. Like, it's not for everyone's taste, because not being able to control the play is a little bit demeaning for some players, but for me, I do enjoy it, and FM14 is a key purchase when it comes out. But again, I don't plan to get the beta. I might be too busy in college at the time, but I could always change. I could get the beta and do a little practice save before I actually do anything. But as for my actual plans, I don't have anything concrete, but I did think of something last night, just in the last few minutes before I went to bed, of something to do. Like, my number one rule is probably not to do the same series twice. So that means the Mans Odyssey is only going to remain in FM13, even though they got relegated in real life. Would be an interesting campaign to play as them again, but I just feel the FM13 save is too good to be true, as well as too bad. It's just a real mixture. Um, so I think that should only remain for FM13. But obviously I'm going to try St. Pat's one more time on FM14, considering we are the likeliest team to win the league, provided we don't lose to Bowes or Dundalk in the next few weeks. That is imperative that we don't lose to them. But I'd like to try them again. The only other team I would repeat doing would be Torquay United. Lol. I just felt that save had potential, and it's a bit unfortunate that I got the sack after being sacked from St. Pat's beforehand. So I would try it again, but it's down my list, I'm afraid, because I'm not at all a fan of the English pyramid. I just find it a bit tedious for whatever reason. Like it's just so difficult to get yourself going, and when you do reach the big league, it's even tougher. So I just don't find it quite as appealing as I would have a few years ago. But for actual plans, I'd like to do something journeyman related for once, because it's really tough being loyal to the same team, and you just don't want to lose grip of that spot, because that means the end of the series, as we saw with the San Marino challenge. But the Pentagon challenge was not for me. I just got bored in Australia. Like, I had every chance of winning that Champions League, but it didn't go to fruition, and then I was too good to win the A-League, and I didn't want to retire from that position, because I wouldn't have had anywhere else to go. So I won't be doing the Pentagon challenge, but maybe something that I come up with myself will be good, or if any of you guys have suggestions, that would be cool. So one thing I did think of was kind of Euro Truck Simulator based, where I start off in a country, and the only places I can go are countries that border that country I start in. So let's say I start in Greece, like I can only go to Bulgaria or Turkey or something like that if I win the league, and when I get to another country, I'll try and win that league and move on throughout Europe and that sort of thing. Like it would be a bit, it has its advantages. Like I don't know how quickly I could win the first one. Like, that's the key, of course, to make the series a success, is if I start off in one league, win it quickly, and get on to the next as soon as possible. But that could be an interesting idea. Like, if you start in Switzerland, you have loads of options. Like, I'm going there right now in the game. It will be very interesting. Yeah, that could work if you'd like it, but again, I'm not too sure. The other thing I thought of was like, instead of scaling the pyramids up, I want to scale the pyramids down. So let's say I start off in a country's top tier. If I win that league, then I have to try and win the second division, like the tier 2 league, and then if I win that, I can move on to tier 3, and so on and so forth. That could be interesting as well. It would be something different, but again, I'm not fully sure what to do. Like an international team, that's probably the other thing I haven't done. They're kind of tough series to get emotionally invested in, because the only good games are the ones in the tournaments. But I wouldn't do a European one in that one. I wouldn't have fun if I came against Ireland, for example. But if I went to South America, that could be good. But again, I'm not at all sure. Like, I don't know what to do with the game. Like, it's plenty of handy changes, but nothing groundbreaking. Like the FM13 online play, which I haven't really used. I had one session with a group of randomers, which is great, but I still need to do those network games while there's still time. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem likely at this stage, but I would try and get some network games for you guys for YouTube, but I don't know if any of you have mics. Like, it's obviously not going to be any fun if I can't talk to my opponent when I play, and I had that problem a few months ago, which delayed the process a bit, so it's a bit of a toughie. But I would love to get some network games with a few of my mates, and certainly if you're interested, put yourself forward and I'll consider you. But I do want to play FM Evolution 99 first, since he asked first back in July, and he hasn't got his new computer yet, unless I'm mistaken. So he's my first priority. But if it's not available, like secondary school and all begins again over here, so if he's not available to play, I'd have to pick someone else, and it could be anybody really at my sub base or my FM13 player base. But the obvious other issue is is my Le Mans team too good or too bad to compete? Like, I've seen some people who've had the game and used it properly. Unlike me, I've only had 6 seasons with Le Mans, where some people have obviously had double that, and they've built amazing teams. So that could mean a little bit of a problem. But if someone started a brand new save in their team, it's still got to grow, then my team will be too good. So that's the only other issue. Obviously playing a full network game would take ages, so that wouldn't work out. But yeah, it's certainly something I really should be doing now that the Steam servers are in control of the multiplayer, as opposed to the Hamachi or whatever you had to do last year in FM12, for example. And I really don't know, like FM14, like I'm just really worried my last year of college will do what will take over several months of potential gameplay, like my computer failures did for this game, which has cost me dearly. And the fact that I'm still going to be playing FM13 into FM14 time, because I'm not done with Le Mans, that's just going to have another effect on me, because you know, how would you say, it's just like I don't want to give up the save until the time is right. As you saw with San Marino, I took a month's like break off it because Le Mans was too good. But how would you say, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just brain fade at the minute. Yeah, so I don't want to end up buying FM14 for full the price and then finding out I can't play it properly, because you really do need to devote time. And if I keep the old game FM13 as well, it's going to be tough for me personally. But on the other hand, I do want the full value out of FM13, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. I will keep playing it until the time is right. And as you saw with San Marino, I gave that up just recently because I took a month's break off it, and then I realised, Le Mans, maybe it's getting a little bit too tense, and to take a break and finish San Marino, which I did. And we had the bonus episode where I holidayed through a year and found out how my successor did, which was good fun, something different to the channel, and I'm sure you guys approve of it as well. So I haven't timed this. I expect to be half an hour. I'm probably going to be wrong, but I could always check that message my friend sent me. I could check that if you really wanted, but I'm not really bothered, to be honest. We're just 70 miles away from my target. Nothing has happened apart from that cheeky junction turn. Like my truck has probably got worn tires, but apart from that, it's grand. Like I think I found out while playing the game that there are very few models of trucks. Like this DAF XF, for example, is the only model of DAF in the game. So on one hand, that means that's a little bit disappointing, because being a fan of Gran Turismo and Forza, where you can have tons of models and makes, you know, you can have a great variety. This is quite the opposite. So that means there are only 6 manufacturers, and there are only, like, I think Renault are the only ones with different types of trucks. But on the other hand, it means I can soup this truck up and not have to worry about getting rid of it, because I'm very loyal to it. Like, it's a very dependable truck, so I can soup it up to maximum potential and not have to worry about getting an upgrade in model, because it's the only one. So that's absolutely fine. So I'll get a new I got a new engine. It's the second best engine possible, which is great. So I'm able to reach 55 miles an hour, which is the speed limiter, very quickly when I'm not towing. Oh, that guy wants to get in that lane. So that's very handy. And you know, it's a very good truck. So I have the number plates and the color. So I could repaint it. I could get a new roof scoop. I can get the new 6 axles. There's a bank knocking on my door. They want their money back. want my money back, I want my money back. Yeah, it's very. Oh, I love that video. Oh, jeez, I'm so mad on my tangents, but that video, if you've never seen that Scouser in Paddy Power asking for his money back, it's just so funny. Like, very good. You should definitely watch it. But anyway, just to wrap up, um, like I really do think this game is great. It's something completely different. Like, um, it's, you know, like, I'm looking forward to what happens next when you have loads of trucks doing all their jobs and you get your money. But there's no actual conclusion to the game. All you really need to do is discover all the roads. So if I just take a quick intermission here, you can see I've only discovered 42.77% of the maps, and I've played 38 hours of this game. So that is truly mind-boggling as I've played. Oh Jesus, must be, yeah, half an hour gone now, yeah. So that is truly mind-boggling. And the fact that you could do mods, you could add countries like Romania, I'd say Bulgaria would be one, the former Yugoslavia, I'm sure people have modded that. You probably have Spain and Portugal, and of course Ireland. I think they should all be in Euro Truck Simulator. Whoops, get out of the way here. I think they should all be included in the next game, Euro Truck Simulator 3, should there be such a thing, because not having Ireland is a severe blow. And I know we have a few differences to the UK, such as we use kilometers an hour. We have different number plates which display the county where you bought it, and we have the Gaeilge language on our signs. So those are probably the only things stopping the developers, SCS, from making an Ireland map. But it could be difficult for them. I don't know how their budget is or anything, but I really, really, with my hand on heart, would love to see an Ireland, you know, representation in this game. It would be so cool. But the other countries I would like is the rest of France. I'd like Spain, Portugal, and Romania. I think they'd all be great to include in the game. Just got to stop here and yield. There we go. There's a gap in the traffic. But as you know, it would be tough to make a full-blown sequel, because the only things that really need to change is the map size, probably a few props for different countries, and probably get the Mercedes license. Like, it's a bit unfortunate that there's no Mercedes. So it's called Majestic, for your information. There's just little representatives, and I actually went to the whole bother of going to Stuttgart just to see what Mercedes parody was like, and there was a bit of disappointment that Mercedes, for whatever reason, didn't hand over the license. But otherwise, I don't know, like, what else they can do to the game to make it even better. Because it's not like FIFA, where they obviously the game mechanics are genuinely the same for the most part year after year. It's just those minor issues, as well as the fixture and league and clubs alterations they need to make. I don't know what else this game can do to justify a full-blown price tag for a sequel, but there may be some paid DLC coming out, and if it does include Ireland, then I'm forking out the cash, no questions asked, because I really do miss driving around in the modified version of Ireland, because I had to turn off the mods. But there is just so much depth to this game. You could have a comedy, like, you can take it seriously, but this is probably the one, like, bearing in mind, I think it does deserve to be taken seriously, unlike the Farm Simulator, which is a load of madness. But if you really did want to have a comedy session out with this game, I do think it has the potential, because the destruction you can cause is quite chaotic. But yeah, I would recommend to anyone who is who has a steering wheel. Like, that's the main thing. You really, like, the keyboard and mouse is probably gonna be rubbish, but you know, it is a grand little game. It's something I've wanted for a long time, to be able to play a driving game that you actually had to obey the rules of the road and that sort of thing. It's very handy for if you're wanting to practice your real life driving. Like, it's definitely not ideal to take everything out of this for, like, real, because driving the car is so much different. But it definitely tests your skills in a safe environment for you know, your real life skills. So hopefully some of my younger guys will take that on board if they ever want to start driving a car or a motorbike, for example. Possibly take a simulator route, and I think that is so important. Like, with the technology we have nowadays, if you don't have access to a simulator to drive safely, I don't know what you can do, because there's certain rules of being accompanied every time you drive. It's not helpful when you want to drive casually. Like, it's just it's safety, of course, safety first and all that. We're gonna have a boom. Oh, there we go. Oh, we're okay. Yeah, so safety first, but at the same time, you can only learn so much with someone in the passenger seat, watching you. So I do firmly believe there needs to be some way that you can drive on your own at certain hours if you're on a driver's permit, which is what the provisional license is now called. So yeah, that should pretty much wrap up the video. I'm going to park this and get my nice bonus, which is the most I've ever earned, because the combination of the distance, the cargo, and the time scale. I think the time scale was medium. So even though I had the sleep, I'm only just early, like I'm 2 hours early. Whereas sometimes if you don't take a sleep, you can be 10 hours early, and you'd be grand. Because the sleeping, like GTA, takes 8 hours out of your day. So it's nice to reference the beginning and the end like that. So I hope you've enjoyed my rambling about video games and that sort of thing. Like, I didn't actually get onto other video games I play apart from GTA. But GTA is kind of the Holy Trinity, one of the parts of the Holy Trinity for my gaming life, and has been since I was underage, or that sort of thing. So yeah, may as well just leave it there. Like, GTA, unlike certain people, like, it's had no negative aspects on me. Like, maybe the one thing I picked up was the foul language, but definitely I don't take the negative aspects of GTA into the real world, such as the crime, of course, and the drugs and the drink and that sort of thing. I stay away from all that. So I think there's no harm in playing GTA if you're mature enough to handle the explicit content and all that. So yeah, that should do it. Hopefully YouTube won't be a pain in the side. I can get this video uploaded soon. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. Talk to you again soon. Hopefully we'll have the truck nice and modified with my cash money. So bye for now.